Okay, guys. So let me know if my voice is audible. Is that audible?
Yeah, it's audible.
Okay. Okay. So I guess let's start with this number of people. The others can join it later. So let's start with my introduction. This is Parth Pandya, and I'm also studying in the same semester as you all. Might be some of the students are from first year too. So I'm studying in fourth semester. I just gave exam, so literally I'm in fifth semester. So okay, so this is Parth Pandya, and I'm pursuing a bachelor's degree in computer science and engineering. And so I enjoy solving problems, writing, building products, and I'm passionate about communities and open source. I'm an open source enthusiast. And to know about me more, you can get to this link. Okay. So today, in collaboration with Radiate community, what we are going to do, we are going to get start with HTML, the most basic building block of the web. And for this 3 days, we are going to have a proper web dev sprint in which we are going to cover concepts of HTML, CSS, and basic JS. So the curriculum which we are going to follow for today is this. It is in the chat box. So this is the curriculum which we are going to follow today. Let me know if everyone is ready with that curriculum open in their new tab. Okay, I guess we should start now. So actually what we are going to do today, we are going to learn HTML, basic HTML, the basic fundamental block of the web. So there are actually lots of components we are going to work upon today, and over hundreds of elements which we are having in HTML we can use. So I have listed few of them below, and in the end of the session we will be able to use each of them. And after today's session and after attending tomorrow's CSS session, you will be able to design your own portfolio and your own projects. So today what we are going to cover is we are going to talk about some of the typographies, typography, and then containers, links, to have header, section, footer, and all. So we'll also be talking about the basic anatomy which HTML follows, and the introductional concept of this hypertext markup language. We'll talk about the semantic HTML and non-semantic HTML. We'll talk about inline versus block HTML. Okay. And after attending this session and tomorrow's session, you will be able to design your own portfolio. So as a practice, you have to do that as an assignment. Okay. So for today, what I have done, I have prepared this HTML document beforehand. So to make this session a little concise, and we'll talk about each and every element used in this HTML document in brief. And after this, it will look something like this. So this is actually a HTML. Okay. So what is HTML? It is actually a building block of web. It is a language that browser understands. It actually defines the meaning and structure of web content. It tells the browser how to structure a page, how to structure a web page. So other technologies beside HTML is actually to describe a web's appearance, its presentation and functionality. So a web appearance is defined for HTML by CSS, and functionality and behavior is defined by JavaScript. So all of this we are going to cover it in this 3 days. So now HTML is not actually a programming language, unlike C++ and Python and all. So this is a markup language. What is a markup language? It is actually a text that annotated. That is a annotated text which tells the browser how to behave, how to actually structure itself, and it also includes various elements which have means like there's two types of elements in that. They are semantic and non-semantic. So which we are going to cover it soon. So we have like 16 people on the board. I guess we should start by now. Okay, we will start. So see, this is a code sandbox link. I am going to copy in this in the chat box. You can see this. This is a document which is prepared by me beforehand, and we are going to talk about the anatomy. Okay. Let me know if you all have this link opened in your new tab. Okay, are we ready? Everyone having that file opened in your new tab? Okay. Like the basic anatomy which HTML follows is actually the opening tag, the content in between, and a closing tag. So an opening tag is actually this consists of the name of the element wrapped in closing angle brackets, and within that we are putting our content to be shown. Now suppose let's start with this typography. Okay, so this is a heading element. So heading element tells typography is actually discipline to present a text on the web. How a text should be presented on a web. So it is defined by typography. We have three types of typography which we are going to deal with today: headings, paragraph, and small text. Okay, so how do we start a HTML file? So let's suppose we are defining HTML example.html. Okay, I have not presented my screen, right? No one is telling me. Sorry for that. Sorry, some unnecessary sound is heard by me or everyone. Just a minute. Is that right now? Is it okay? Audio is
No, means it's coming. I think you have connected to headphones or something like that.
no,
Because
no.
after removing my headphones, also I am hearing the sound.
Okay, everyone is experiencing it. Hello. Let's make this session
Anyone
some
can,
more
yes,
interactive.
anyone can clarify it, so it would be easy.
Okay, a little bit. Is it like too much to hear what I'm saying? That unnecessary voice is too much? Okay, it's okay. So I guess so let's make this session somewhat interactive. So whenever I ask like my audio is is it audible or my presentation is visible, so let me know that if there is something problem or I'm good to go. Okay, so is this page visible to you all?
Yes, yes, visible.
Yes.
Okay, visible, right. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to share you all live link of this code editor. So I would just like to show you how to start with an HTML file. Okay, the basic thing, basic anatomy which HTML file should follow. So all of you follow this link and you should see my cursor visible here in example.html file. Let me know if you are ready for that. Everyone got the link? Okay. People can also watch this session here in the presentation, live presentation, and also you can, for better accessment, you can also use this live link of this code sandbox. Okay, should I start? Everyone ready with that link? Dhruvin, Devkaran, Akash?
Yes.
Okay. So basically, how do we start our HTML file? You've always seen this doc type. We write on the top of the file, doc type HTML, right? All of you just confirm that you're able to see what I'm doing live. You can unmute too.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So this is how we start HTML file. We have this line. We'll talk about every line in detail. Okay, just a minute. Let me complete this basic anatomy structure of an HTML file. And this is body. Okay. Okay, so is this visible to you all? Okay. All of
Yeah,
you
it's
can
visible.
see all these 9 lines of HTML I just wrote.
Yes.
Okay. So what we have in the top, this is doc type HTML. It is actually when it is like history around 1991, that doc types were meant to act like links to set a set of rules that the HTML page had to follow to be considered good HTML. So it was means this thing was to be very large, means we have to write a lot of things in this doc type. In the first head itself, in the first line itself, we have to write a lot of things. But gradually with the development of HTML, this became concise and we have to write this doc type HTML only. So it is the shortest string of characters that counts as valid doc type, and that's all we need to know. Okay, so this just tell this document is type of HTML. What we have talked about HTML? HTML is just a language which tells a web browser how to structure itself. So the first line itself tells that this is an HTML file. The extension is not enough. Even if you don't write this first line in your regular practice, it is okay. It is okay to not write that. But it is a good practice if you write this doc type HTML every time when you define an HTML file. Okay. So this is the basic anatomy. This is the basic structure an HTML file should follow. After that, we have HTML tag, which is the main, which is like the element that wraps all the contents on the page, and it is sometimes we call it as a root element. Okay. Now comes the head. Head is actually an element that acts as a container for everything you want to include on your HTML page, and that is not the content the page will show to the viewers. This the content enclosed in this tag, head tag, is not viewed to the viewers. Okay, this includes keywords and a page description that would appear in search results, CSS to style content, like some character set declaration. This is like a meta chapset UTF-8. This is actually an element that specifies the character set for your document to be UTF-8. So, which includes most characters from the vast majority of the human written languages. Huh. So with this setting, we can this page can now handle any textual content it might contain. So if you want to include some Japanese text in this HTML document, there is a different cassette for this. But universal, this thing UTF-8, it is actually defined. It is a document which includes most of the characters from vast majority of the human written languages. So you can use any of your preferred language you want to include in an HTML file, right? So in the head tag, we also have title, right? Which will be displayed here. Title, right? This is title. So this is title. Now header tag is meant for that, and the title element, it is like it sets the title of the page, and which is a title that appears in the browser tab, that is that the page is loaded in. The page is page title is also used to describe the page when it is bookmarked. When you bookmark a page, it will show with the name of the title of the page. Every time you bookmark a page, it will be saved in the name of the title of the page. Okay. Now comes the body. The body is the main thing which plays with HTML. When we play with HTML, we are actually dealing with body. So we'll write our whole HTML in this. It contains all the content that displays on the web page, including the text, images, videos, games, playable audio tracks, and whatever else which is visible to a user. It is defined in body. Okay. So now, okay, let's talk more about head. Let's talk more about head. What's the head? What's this metadata? Like this head of an HTML we just talked now. It is a part that is not displayed in the web browser and when the page is loaded. So it just contains the information such as page title, links to CSS, and if you choose to style your HTML with HTML content with CSS, you need to insert some links, which we are going to cover soon in the next session. So links to custom page icons and other metadata about this HTML document. So every HTML document has some metadata. We in our regular practice includes around 4 to 5 lines of metadata, means 4 to 5 lines of this head enclosing in head. So larger websites like Zomato and all, when you would inspect in that, you can find that there's a lot of metadata included in that. Like there are many tags. Like this meta tag is meant for some metadata which is very crucial to the HTML page. It describes the page about this char set which it has to use. It displays this title, and also open graph tags. Let me show you. Mm, let me show you head tag can do what. Okay. Oh, my account is not. Sorry for this. Recently, actually, I changed my username, so it's not showing my profile. there's lot more we have to know with this. Okay, now what I have done, I inserted a link here, a Medium link. I recently did a blog post and I inserted a link in this Twitter. So what it will do, it will create an image which I have inserted in this metadata. It will also show the title of the page. It will also show the description. So this will actually eventually make a card of it. OG tags I'm talking about, Open Graph tags I'm talking about. So this is how a head tag plays. We add title to it, we add some metadata like the description, title and all, and we also add some OG tags. These are OG tags. This is because of OG tags, Open Graph tags, in which we define the description, in which we also insert a link to the image. It should be shown when this link is embedded somewhere, and it should also show this description of the page. Okay. Generally, this metadata is the data that describes data, and HTML has an official way of adding metadata to the element, that is using this meta tag. Okay. Are you guys getting what I'm saying? Let's make this somewhat interactive. Okay. Okay, good. So this was actually universal character set. Okay. This was all about head tag. Now let's move to this page. Now this document. Okay. So in this today's session, what we are going to do is we are going to design this, not design. We are going to create this HTML component library for us. Okay, a component library is actually a personal library. Every company, every personal means a developer uses for its personal designing purpose and all. So Twitter, let's suppose Twitter also has its personal component library which it uses. So every time when it makes changes to something like it is making a page like analytics.twitter.com. There's a page which shows you about the analytics of your tweets, how your tweet activity is going about. So it will tell you about that. So while developing that page, the developer who designed that page, he should not design it again and again. Each and everything should not be designed again and again. So this component library is designed by each and every company so that they can reuse the components, like the navigation bar. The navigation bar in this twitter.com and analytics.twitter.com. They will resemble much. So that developer should have to just amend some contents of that page, of that navigation bar, not the whole navigation bar he have to design. Okay. So while talking about HTML, we will cover most of these elements. We will talk about typography, we will talk about containers, then links, then lists, three types of lists, then navigation bar, header, and sections, type of sections. Then this is a part of CSS, and this is footer. So don't get some kind of panic. This is a very tedious looking file, right? So after attending tomorrow's session, you will be able to design this like this. The same HTML file will look like this after designing it with CSS. Okay. So when you hover this with your cursor, it will eventually grow that font size greater and greater. All this will be covered in the tomorrow's session. So today, let's do this component library. And I want that everyone who is attending this session, there are actually 17 people. So I want you all to get ready with this component library by yourself and if there are some experienced like some sort of means doing HTML since a long time, I would suggest that you should not use that AMET abbreviation that VS Code is providing to you now. Just for the sake of practice, you have to type all the HTML. So you'll get once you get in your regular practice, you can use that AMET abbreviation too. So it is just the starting of yours. So you have to do what? You will write whole HTML like just we did in this example.html. First of all, just create a structure like this, then define the head, okay, then start with body. That's it. Nothing more than that. Now, anything which you want to ask regarding this, what we talked about, anything till now? Any problem, anything in between my audio break and something was not audible to you, some sort of not comfortable with my voice or anything? You can unmute yourself and tell me if it is. Dhruvin, Parth, Dhruv, all fine? No problem. Okay. Okay. So according to our curriculum, the first thing which it comes up is typography. So typography is actually a discipline of text to be presented on the web. So today we are going to cover three of it: heading, paragraphs, and small text. So this is the HTML document I have prepared beforehand, and we'll just do a code walkthrough of this HTML document. So this is doc-type HTML. We all know this. It is just written here to just define. It is just written here to tell the browser that this is actually a HTML document. Now this is the HTML tag, which is enclosing all the contents of this HTML document. Then comes the head tag, which contains the metadata of the HTML document, including the title and a favorite icon like this. This is known as the fav icon. Okay, icon of your web page. Like we have icons of an Android application. We have an icon. Likewise, we have this icon of your web page. Like this, we have in Meet. Okay, Meet is having its own. This Twitter is having its own. Code Sandbox is having its own. So like this, we can add our fav icon too. So this is meta, means this is just defining this char set, that universal thing. And this thing, it is just used to define this page, that initial scale, means the initial zoom should be 1.0. Okay, so not to worry much about that. Now getting started with the body, actual HTML now. So just to give these headings and all, I have used the headings from the typography, because in HTML, anything which we want to present, any textual format we want to present on the web, we are using this typography, headings and paragraphs and small text and all. So I have used this H1, Reddit, just HTML component library. Okay, so under that I have used this paragraph tag. Now paragraph tag is what? It means HTML and CSS is more like of verbose. We have to remember some of the keywords. Like in programming languages like C++ and Python, there are less of keywords and more of coding. In this, you have to put your own content like this, and you have to enclose all that in this tags like thing, which we call, let's suppose these are keywords of our HTML. Fine. This is just an HR tag, horizontal rule. Horizontal rule is this: a thematic break in HTML. Headings. Headings are actually of six types. Okay, H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, and it starts with a opening tag, then the content inside it, and after that a closing tag. The same anatomy, the basic anatomy which HTML follows. Okay. And wherever I add this, like suppose I have added a lots of white space here, and I have saved this document. Okay, and I am refreshing this page. So this won't work because this white space is included in the code and it is optional. You want to means make this document look good, so you can have more spaces like this. It is not the matter of concern, but in actual in your content, if you want to give space, so you have let me show you what I have just gone. We have some literals, so we will use that thing. Literal characters we will use to give space between them. Let me show you, rather let me show you what I'm talking about. So suppose in this typography section, or suppose in this after V, I want to give tab space. So what I will do, I will add this literal character EMSST. So this will give a tab space in the document. Okay, so you can see a tab space here. Generally it is of 4, so there are more literal characters which we can use to give more spaces to our document whenever needed. Rather, otherwise we can use that simple space, so it will do that by default. So in typography we have talked about this headings. We have talked about paragraphs. Paragraphs is simple English. In paragraph, how do we write paragraphs? And every time you define a paragraph, it will start with new line. And small is actually an element which will display this. A very small textual thing it will display. Okay. So anything that is pissing you off in typography? Anything? You want to know more about typography? Speak up, guys. No. Okay. Okay, so typography is clear now, right? We are done with typography. So let's get started with this. Semantic and non-semantic tags, a good concept in HTML. So a semantic tag means what? A tag, an element in HTML which has a meaning, like headings, H1, H2, H3, everything. Every time we include something in heading tag, it will get a little bolder. It will have its own font size, and it will get a little stylish when we give heading to that. Okay, so this is a semantic tag. That tag is actually adding some value to that content, and that's what make it a semantic tag. But the tags like div, tags like span, these all tags does not give any meaning to this HTML document, any meaning to the content enclosing in that. It is just enclosure. Okay. So the next part is like container. Container in which we are going to talk about div. Div means division. And this is a non-semantic tag in HTML. It will not add any value to the content enclosed in it by default. So here we are going to talk about two containers, fluid container and a centered container. And it will not actually be centered unless we add CSS to that. So by default, this will look same now. So fluid container is a container which will go to the end of the page. Okay. And in the centered container, we will specify a width, and that particular width it will follow, and it will not exceed around that, above that. Okay, so that was all about containers. Container is nothing. It is a non-semantic concept of HTML. It is generally an enclosure. It encloses contents inside that, nothing more than that. Okay. Anything from typography or containers, which is a kind of problematic, which is kind of not understanding thing. Guys, I'm asking you all. Is my voice audible to you all? Understood? Okay. 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 So the main purpose to keep this session interactive is like it keeps me motivated. I keep you updated and it keeps me motivated. So that's why I'm asking that you guys speak up, whether in the chat box or unmuting yourself. It's okay if you unmute because we have a less number of people. We are just 17, 13 now. Okay, 13. Good. So you can also even unmute and ask questions and all. You can also interrupt me in between. You can ask me questions and all. Okay. Don't delay things. Just like to say that. So after every this thing like typography, after every container, this like section, I have put this horizontal line, horizontal rule. This is a horizontal rule, HR tag. It is just it just gives a horizontal line after the end of every this section in this HTML document. It is a thematic break in the HTML document, which means like mm, sections that content on HTML file. Just that. So we are going to get start with links. Okay. We start with links. So containers done, fluid container, sentence container done. In links, we are going to talk about primary link and a secondary link. Now let's jump to this complete component library and let's see how a primary link should look and how a secondary link should look like. The primary link is generally like this. It is like more attractive, uh, more catchy, and this secondary link is like means the developer does not want the user to click onto that link again and again. Now let's go back to Twitter again. Now in Twitter, uh, let's go to my profile. Okay, so here's two button we can see: tweet and edit profile. Let me know if you can see this screen. Let me know if you can see this Twitter page. You can unmute your mic and speak up.
Yeah, bro, we can see it.
Okay, you can see this. So this is my Twitter profile, and here we have two buttons. This button is tweet button, and this is a edit profile button. So developers who develop this Twitter, who develop this page, they don't want the user to edit profile again and again. They don't want users, and users also don't want their profile to be edited daily. Do we want our profile to be edited daily? Whether it is Instagram or whether it is Twitter or Discord or anything. Are we guys updating our profile every day? No. Simple answer is no. So that's where the concept of primary link and the secondary link comes up. The main purpose of Twitter, the main thing for which Twitter has been developed years ago, is to tweet things. It is to share idea, and that thing will be done by this tweet button. So we will click on this, and we can some sort of share our ideas what's happening now. So this is the concept of tweet, and this is the concept of primary link and secondary link. Understood? Or any doubts? Confusion between primary and secondary link concept? No. Okay. Okay. So to define a link in an HTML document, what we do actually? So we have this anchor tag. This A tag is actually called an anchor tag, and this href, href is actually this is called an attribute. Okay. So this is an element, HTML element, inside which whatever we write is an attribute. That may also be an on click attribute. That may also be a target blank attribute. So these all are attributes. Target, on click, href. These all are known as attributes. So don't get confused between elements and attributes. The code editor will do that thing for you, that it will differentiate the element and attribute with different colors. Okay. So we will use to define a link with anchor tag, and by default we have set this as hash. This is defined. This is actually done to declare a link as a dead link. Whenever we use hash with href hash, so that means this link is not active. This is a dead link. It will come up here with hash, but it has no meaning. It has nothing linked. So HTML links. So this are generally look like this. Primary link and secondary link both look same unless we add CSS to them. And after when we add CSS, they will look like this. Okay. Now we'll have again this thematic break. And before jumping after list, what I want, let's do a demo. Let's add a HRDF. Okay. So I have added this google.com as actually to my primary link. Now I'm refreshing this page. And after refreshing, see this. I'll open this link in the new tab, and then it is google.com. So this is how we define link in HTML. Got it? Got it? Everyone by now should
Yes.
know how to define link in HTML. Guys, you can unmute your mics and speak up. We are just 12 now. You can talk freely. Seems like no one wants to talk with me. Okay.
Understood, bro. Understood. Why don't we not
Okay,
talk to you?
Devkaran. Okay, Devkaran. Okay, Dhruvin, Parth, Beladia, Mahi, everyone. Jekyll.
Guys, if you are having any doubt, just please ask. There's no
Please.
problem in asking.
Yeah, yes. And we are just 12. We can mute your mics and we can speak up. Okay. Let me show you an interesting thing. What just we did now? When we have to means eventually right click this, and then we have to click on this open link in new tab, and then only this link is to open in the new tab. If I directly click on this link, it will this page will be rendered in this same page only, overriding that original our radiate just HTML component page. So we don't want that. So how to overcome this? So we will just add what? We will add this target blank. Right. And now when I refresh this page, when I click on this, it will be on a new page. Guys, show some excitement, show something. Please motivate me. See, I do need some motivation while taking some session. Guys, you are understanding all what am I saying?
Yes, bro.
Okay, thank you. So, everybody, you are knowing by now that how to define link and how to means how we can redirect a page with a new tab by default. You all know, right? So we will jump off to lists now. Again a thematic break and again a new concept, lists. An interesting topic in HTML, list. So the traditional method to define a list was actually, see, now an ordered list looks like this. Okay. And there is also a wrong way. So let's try this wrong way first. How it looks like. Wrong way to define list in HTML. Let's refresh this page. So here it is. This is the unconventional and the traditional way to define list. We are actually enclosing the content in this two div, and we are enclosing each element in this div element. Okay. So actually, I just forgot to tell you the concept of block element and an inline element. So div is actually a block element. Whenever you define a div and again a div below that, they both will be started with a new line. Okay. And when I add another tag like small tag, small tag is actually a inline tag, and it will be just in one line. Inline means in one line. Simple English it is. Inline. The name itself suggests us that inline is a one line. And div is just an enclosure and it is a block element. Now when we write there, right, and when we refresh this page, we can see that small in one line. But okay, let's take this small out of this and put it outside here, and let's know the difference. Okay, so what I want to tell you is small and div. Div is actually block element and small is an inline element. Whenever you add small consecutively, means like we have defined this div. So when we write small tag, again a small tag, and again a small tag, they will come up with a single line. It will be in a single line, and it will not need any new line. But here you can see when we have did this div. So div is actually doing what? Defining on every new line. It is getting started with a new line every time. But we have an HTML tag to do all this job. So why to use this unconventional and the most traditional way to use this to list out items? So how to define a list? An unordered list is done by an unordered list tag. This is a UL tag. This is how we define an unordered list in HTML, inside which we have listed items like this. Li is listed items, inside which we add our items, and we don't need to explicitly tell the browser that this is a list, because it is an HTML element. Because it is HTML element and we are using these tags, unordered list and listed items, it will tell eventually the browser that how to behave with this textual content. You have to declare them as a list and you have to add these bullets in front of them. Okay, so this is how we write list. Now this was unordered list. Now This is unordered inline list. Inline means in one line. So here you can't see this all items in a line, in a single line. Okay. So unless we add CSS, sorry to say again, unless we add CSS, we will not be able to see the same content in a single line. So this will be done in the tomorrow's session. So this will look like this. In the same line, all the content will be shown up. Now, a reverse list. How to write an ordered list? First of all, let's know how to write an ordered list. So, like this unordered list UL, we have ordered list OL, and the listed item tag remains the same. Got it? Unordered list, we will use this UL. For ordered list 1, 2, 3, to give bullet points, we will add this UL. To give ordered list to a HTML document, we want to list items in order like 1, 2, 3, all. So we will use this OL tag, and this listed item tags will remain same, right? So this, after defining this OL, we will have this ordered reverse list. Okay, so this is saying a reverse list. So this time I will not disappoint you all. This time I will not tell you that unless we add CSS, we can't have this list reversed. So this can be reversed by just writing reverse here, in the side of this OL tag. We will just refresh this document and we'll get to see this 3, 2, 1. This is the ordered reverse list item 1, 2, 3. So yes, this is like a problem with my content, that ordered list item 3 I have did here. So when we do some things dynamically, like this is a static page, and here I can write manually about like ordered reverse list item 3, ordered reverse list item 2. But when we use JavaScript and when we used to loop on an array of items, then we get to know the importance of using this reverse list, how to reverse a list. Okay, so this was the concept of list. We learned about ordered list, unordered list, unordered inline list, and ordered reverse list. Let me know till now, anyone having any problem, anything? Dhruvin is saying no. Okay, Dhruvin. Devendra Sirvi, no problem. Okay. So everyone is following what is being taught, right? So can I ask questions? Okay, Dev. Everyone is getting? All of you are getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, Jekyll. Thank you. So again, a thematic break, again a HR tag, again a horizontal rule, and we are jumping off to navigation. Navigation means like this. This is the navigation bar. Home, explore, notification, messages. Means a single page is having a navigation bar through which a user can navigate to various pages that a particular web page is having. Right? Every web page, every web application is having its own navigation bar. This here, some are having that on the top, and some are having it on the sidebar as a sidebar. Twitter is having it as a sidebar for web, and like say this is Discord. So this is the navigation of channels I am having. Okay, so this is also a navigation bar, right? So this is the concept of navigation bar, and we are going to design a navigation bar. We will design it in CSS, but we will define it in HTML. So we will define the actual content which we are going to have in this HTML. So, okay, a navigation bar is just actually a heading kind of thing, or a paragraph, something, and we have a list of items, just that. Anyone can tell me how I have declared this, how I've defined this item list? What things we need to use to define an item list like this? Can anyone wants to voluntarily answer? Or may I ask someone? Okay, Dhruvin. Dhruvin, hello. Dhruvin? Okay, now you can unmute yourself and you can speak up. No language barrier, please. No means you can speak up in any language you prefer. I am also Gujarati. I know Gujarati. I just want to know that means you are getting it. That things keep me motivated and keep my community members motivated too for the next sessions. Drovin, don't get panic.
Yes.
Okay. So can you tell me how should this link should be, this list should I have been defined? What things we need to use to define a list like this? Moving in having connection problems or what?
Division, I think.
Division. Okay, Dhruvin, tell me how we can define a list.
Li.
Li is actually done for what? To define a listed item. Okay. Okay, Dhruvin. So to define a list, actually we are having two types of list. One is ordered list and one is unordered list. Okay, someone wants to speak up. Okay, you can explain. That's the best way to learn. Teach and learn. Teach your friends and learn. That's the best way. You can talk with each other. Yes. Jekyll, if you want to say, you can. You can explain Dhruvin.
Yeah, there are two types of list. Ordered list, for that attribute is OL, and unordered list for UL. In ordered list,
Actually, OL. Let me say. Let me interrupt you. OL is a HTML element. Anything which we use inside it is an attribute. Like reverse we use. It is an attribute. Okay, Jekyll.
Acha, okay.
Huh.
So anything you enter in it in ordered list will be come into the sequence. What have you entered? And in ordered list, unordered list, you enter the items of list, and if you refresh the page, it will be getted unordered. मतलब विखाई जाए टूक शब्दમાં. I think I have net issues.
Parth is having some network issue. He'll get back in 5 minutes. Please bear with this, sir. So while we are waiting for Path, let me just explain you what the Radiate is. Radiate started as a community to help students building, like talk about the things they're interested in and to learn the steps that are interested. Also, you are posting different in projects and requirements on Radiate. So I will send you a link. Please join the Radiate Discord server.
Sure, bro.
You were saying something, Shakil?
I'm saying that kindly share the link, and I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, I'll share at the end of the session. I'll set up a form link. In that form link, we have the Discord link there. I'll also share a PDF. You can find the pre-uploaded PDF regarding web development in the Discord, in the web development part about front end.
Yep.
Guys, जब तक पार्ट था तब तक हम लोग ये फॉर्म फिल अप कर सकते हैं. Like, I've set the link in chat. Just give it a go. Thank you.
Hello, my voice is audible.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry for this inconvenience. It was a tactical glitch. It was like a connection cut off for me. Let me set up everything again. Okay, so Dhruvin, are you clear about that list? How to define? Hello, Dhruvin. Hello.
Yes, Paz is audible, bro.
Okay,
I think Rubin has some network issues, I
Okay,
guess.
okay, it's okay. Okay, so let's start again. Let me set up things. Okay, everyone. Now let's jump off to. So basically, that navigation bar was this defined using a simple unordered list, and later on we will design it using CSS to make something look like this. Okay. Now let's go to header. Header. In header, we are going to cover up on images and the heading. Image heading. Let me present my screen. Okay, my presentation is visible to you.
Yes.
Okay. So it is still loading for me. So basically, while this page loads, let's talk about this header. So in header, what we have done, I have covered this image topic. So there are some tags which need not to be closed. So basic HTML anatomy tells what? We have an opening tag, we have the content, and then we close that tag, enclosing that content. So, then it's loaded. Okay. So basic anatomy tells us this: an opening tag, a closing tag, and between them we have a content. But some tags need not to be closed. They are closed by default. Means they need not to be closed. Like image tag, and we have input. We don't need them to be closed explicitly. Okay. So this is what I am talking about. Header. This header is this header. Okay. So this is actually a high definition illustrator which I have got from andro.co. Let me give this to you too, so you can use while you design your own component library. So now let me teach you how to give paths. So suppose this is src, okay, and inside this we have some file like style.css, or suppose this image is actually in src. So how should one be accessing that particular image? So dot generally specifies that this directory, this folder, this particular folder, inside this folder itself we have hero.svg. So this hero.svg is in the same folder in which we have this index.html. Both of these files reside on the same directory, the same folder. Okay, it is not in the src folder or anything. But if it would be in src, like hero.svg is in src folder, so what we can do? Dot, then slash, then we can write src, then again slash. So this is how we can access images. This is how we can access some other assets which we have defined in our project folder. Okay. So here we have this hero.svg in the same folder in which we have this index.html. So we just have to write this. dot slash and then hero.svg, and that image will be shown up here. So by default, this image is having nothing, no dimensions, nothing we have set. So which attribute we can use to define height and width of an image in an HTML? Anyone? Anyone? Okay. Let me write here. We have height and we have width attributes. Let's set both with 100 first. So it will eventually resize this image. See, this image is now, it is not visible because it is an SVG file and it needs some proper dimension to be displayed clearly. So maybe that's the reason it's not showing up. Okay, I have okay, I got just deleted this hero.svg. That's why it's not showing up. Let's import this again. Let's import any SVG file. Let's see. Like Google input. Let's take this example. Okay. gsoc.png. Now instead of hero.svg, what we have? gsoc.png. Okay. When we refresh this page, we have this image. Now when we resize this with these attributes, height and width, right? Let's set it in a square format, 100, 100. We can see the change. See, it is resized. So using these attributes also we can resize an image, or instead we can use that same attributes as CSS properties and we can use that to resize. But we have some more topics to be covered in CSS. We will not do this here. We will not use these attributes. We'll just define this HTML tag image to add this image in our HTML document, and we are done with this. So this was all about image, and it is self-closing element. It is self-closing tag. Image tag is a self-closing tag. It does not need to be done like this. No. This is not a practice. It is a self-closing tag. So till now, anything? Any doubts? Anyone? Having any doubts? No. No? Okay. So let's move to section. So section is actually also a non-semantic tag. It does not even give a thematic break in a HTML document. It is just used to include this content, some more contents in it. A group of contents can be included in this section, and that can be just said that this is a particular section and this is a particular section. Inside that we can have some headings like white section and off-white section. So this will like distinguish that we have different sections. Inside that we can have some paragraphs defining a particular section topic, that this section is defined for this purpose and this is for this. So we can have paragraphs inside that. Inside the section we can also have images. We can have everything, links, everything. So section is also a non-semantic tag like a division, a div tag. Okay, so here we have nothing to see much about because it is a basic, it is basic HTML. We have heading h3, we have paragraph, we have again one section, we have again one heading, again one paragraph, and everything else is covered up in this CSS. So in CSS, it will look like this. We will center all these headings, we will center this paragraph, we will add a background, off-white background to this section, off-white section. This will have a gray background. You can have your own color. So this CSS transition section, let's move to this. This is also having a section in which we are using a div, in which we are having a remote tag, heading, we are having a paragraph, and this section I just created because of I want to show some CSS transition, like hovering on this section, it will gradually increase that font size, and it will also add a background to that, like this one I shown you. I showed that to you, like I'm hovering on this section and it will increase the font size, adding this background. Okay, so this was all about section. Again, shadows. Oh, we don't need this. No, this is part of CSS, right? This is CSS. So in this also we are dealing with CSS itself. Now jumping off to footer. Footer is actually like a navigation bar itself. We define footers, like every web app is having its own footer, defining its copyrights and all, defining its social presence and all. So yes, like we have one. This is the actually footer tag. Footer tag, it just tells the web browser that this is a footer. It does not do much. It does not add much value to the content included in it. It just tells the web browser that this particular thing is a footer, and you have to behave with that content as a footer, that yes, you are a footer. So division, again unordered list. You can even have ordered list too, according to your preferences. You have this listed item. You just have to create a list, just that input. And yes, we and this HTML document. So this was just the basic element which we talked about today, and this is the most basic one, which we will need it in the regular practice. Every time when we will define an HTML document, we will need this. Okay, so any doubts in this till this in this curriculum, in this typography, containers, links, navigation, header, section, footer, anything? We talked about head versus body. We talked about semantic HTML, non-semantic HTML. We talked about this inline versus block HTML in inline versus block elements in HTML. Okay. So let's unmute your mic and speak up something, that whether you enjoyed this, whether you learned something new, you were knowing these things, but you got to know some new things. Anything. Anyone? Dhruvin, Jekyll, Yugen, Devendra. Anyone having any doubts? You can unmute your mics and speak up. See, being interactive helps a lot. Asking is not like means when I was teaching you didn't got that topic. Everyone has her own pace, right? So it's not like I will be judging you that you're not getting me when I am teaching. You can ask doubts. Asking doubts is a good thing. Anything to be asked? So I expect that today everyone will make their own component library, just that HTML component library. Okay, like this one. You can take on the links. You can join our Discord server, and you can refer that document and you can create your own.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Parth. Thanks for such a great session.
Okay, thank you. Anyone having any doubts? Anyone wants to ask anything? Anything regarding HTML? Anything regarding what we talked about metadata, what we talked about OG tags, and what we talk about head, body, anything in HTML you want to ask. Anything we talked about in today's session. You want to ask anything? You gain.
No, I have nothing to ask.
No.
No. Okay. So are you all guys ready for creating your own component, just HTML component library? Let me know in the chat box. If you're not unmuting your mics, at least write something in your chat box. Okay. So
All right, guys. I guess we have a great new session. Tomorrow, same time, 4:30. Season will begin. Now you can leave.
yes, tomorrow we will have the CSS session, and we will design this just HTML component library with this complete HTML with this complete component library. We will complete this component library, and later on you can use the same components to design your own portfolio and own projects. Okay. If you need to ask anything, you can tag me in the Discord server. You can join our Radiate Discord server. Maybe Aditya have given you the link. Okay, it's here. Link for the Discord server. Copying it again here. You can join our Discord server. You can ask me questions. You can even follow me on Twitter. That's the thing. That was all about this HTML. There are more elements, more components like that, and you have to read on your own. Okay, you just need to know the implementation. You don't need to remember everything in HTML and CSS, because there are hundreds and means like 200s of these elements. So we don't need to remember. Okay.
All right then. Thank you, Parth.
Okay, guys. Okay.
Thank you, Parth.
Thank you, Parth.
Thanks for joining. Thanks for having on the board.